You ever meet someone who just can't stop insulting others? They find something negative to say about everyone. It doesn't matter if you're doing well or just minding your business. They'll find a way to throw a comment, a sarcastic line, a little jab, and most of the time you sit there wondering what's wrong with them. Why do they do that? Why does insulting people make them feel better? But here's the truth most people don't realize. People who always insult others are not strong. They're not confident. They're not better than you. They're just hiding. They're hiding behind words because deep inside they feel small, scared and unseen. Every insult they throw is a reflection of their pain, not your worth. You see, when someone insults, they're not talking about you. They're showing you who they are. It's like a mirror they can't turn away from. Their anger, jealousy, or insecurity spills out through their words. When a man can't deal with his emotions, he attacks others. When a man feels powerless, he tries to make others feel the same. Insults become his only weapon because he's lost control of everything else. But here's the thing, you don't have to take it personally. Because the truth is, it's not about you. It never was. Most of these people grew up in environments where love was mixed with criticism. Maybe they were laughed at when they made mistakes. Maybe they were told they'd never be enough. Over time, that becomes their way of dealing with the world. They learned that the best way to avoid pain is to cause it first. They insult because they're afraid of being insulted. They mock others so they don't have to face their own flaws. And the more they do it, the smaller they become inside. As men, we often think that reacting shows strength. Someone disrespects us, and we want to clap back to prove we're not weak. But reacting to every insult only gives power to the one who spoke it. It's like picking up a stone that was thrown at you. Now you're carrying their weight. Real strength isn't about shouting louder. It's about staying silent when silence speaks louder than words. Because silence, when it comes from self-control, is power. A man who truly knows himself doesn't need to insult anyone. He doesn't need to prove who he is through words. His presence speaks for him. His calmness makes people respect him even when he says nothing. You can tell the difference between a man who's at peace with himself and one who's not by how he speaks about others. Weak men gossip. Strong men listen. Weak men insult. Strong men uplift. Weak men compete. Strong men improve. And that's why, when someone throws an insult at you, you don't need to fight back. Because it's not a battle of words. It's a battle of awareness. When you understand where it's coming from, you start to see through it. You stop asking, why are they insulting me? And start saying, I see you. I know what's happening. That's real confidence. Not letting someone else's pain control your peace. When a person constantly insults, it's often because they can't handle seeing someone else calm. Your peace irritates them. Your confidence triggers them. Your silence reminds them how noisy their mind is. Your progress shows them everything they're not doing. So they try to disturb your balance. They'll call you names, question your character, or try to make you doubt yourself. But deep down they're just saying, I wish I had what you have. I wish I could be that calm people insult most when they feel least in control of their own lives. The boss who always humiliates his employees, the friend who always mocks others, the stranger online who spreads hate. They all come from the same place, frustration and insecurity. They can't fix themselves, so they try to break others. They can't rise higher, so they pull others down. That's their only way to feel taller. But no one ever got taller by cutting someone else's legs. The biggest mistake you can make is taking their words personally. Because the moment you do, you hand them your peace. It's like saying, here, Take my mood, take my time, take my energy. You don't owe anyone that. You owe it to yourself to stay grounded, to stay still when others are shaking, to stay kind when others are cruel. That's what separates a wise man from a wounded one. And I'll tell you something, the more secure you become, the less anyone can insult you. Their words might reach your ears, but they won't touch your heart. Because when you know your value, no one else's opinion can change it. You don't fight for approval. You don't beg to be seen. You just exist in your truth, and that's enough. If you've ever been insulted deeply, remember this. What they said is their truth, not yours. People see you through the filter of their own mind. If their mind is full of bitterness, that's all they'll project. You could be doing everything right, but they'll still find fault. Not because you're wrong, but because their eyes are clouded. You can't clear their vision. You can only keep yours clean. The next time someone insults you, don't respond with anger. Respond with understanding. Think of it like this. They're trying to give you a gift you never asked for. Don't take it. Just let it fall. Their words have no power unless you choose to believe them. When you stop giving power to insults, you start controlling your peace. That's what maturity looks like. It's not about not feeling hurt, it's about not staying hurt. You see, calmness isn't weakness, it's discipline. It's choosing not to lose yourself because of someone else's lack of control. Anyone can shout, anyone can argue. But it takes real power to stay composed, because when you stay calm, you stay in control. And when you stay in control, you win without even fighting. Now think about this. Have you ever noticed how people who insult always need attention? They can't survive in silence. They need reactions. They need someone to defend, to fight, to argue. Because your reaction feeds them. It makes them feel important. That's why the best response is none. Don't give them what they crave. Let your peace starve their chaos. Let your calmness confuse their noise. There's another side to this too. Sometimes people insult because they're jealous. They see you doing better, and instead of feeling inspired, they feel inferior. So they try to bring you down to make it even. Jealousy is one of the deepest roots of constant insults. People can't stand seeing others shine when they've stopped chasing their own light. But remember, their jealousy is just admiration that's gone bad. Don't hate them for it. Pity them, because they've forgotten how to be happy for others. When you forgive people like that, you don't do it for them. You do it for yourself. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget what they did. It means you no longer let it own your thoughts. You free yourself from their energy, because holding anger inside only burns you, not them. They've moved on, but if you're still replaying the insult, they're still controlling you, and that's the power you must take back. A lot of men misunderstand what being strong means. They think it means never showing emotion. But real strength is emotional control, not emotional suppression. When someone insults you and you stay calm, you're showing mastery over yourself. You're saying, "You can't make me lose myself." That's the kind of strength that changes everything. In business, in relationships, in life. As you grow, you'll realize that the more peaceful you become, the more people will try to disturb that peace. Because peace is rare, and when something's rare, it triggers envy. But don't stop being calm. Don't stop being kind. Your peace is not their permission to insult you, but it is your power to stay above them. Remember, an insult is just noise. It fades, but how you react stays with you. Your reaction builds your reputation, and your reputation builds your destiny. So don't let small minds pull you away from your big purpose. If you ever feel tempted to insult someone back, pause and ask yourself, what am I trying to prove? Because if you need to prove something, you've already lost balance. Real confidence doesn't shout. It breathes, it observes, it forgives, and it walks away. That's what powerful men do. One day, you'll meet someone who tries to break your peace again. They'll say something cruel or mock you in front of others. In that moment, breathe, smile slightly, and remember this: their words don't define you. Their behavior defines them. Your reaction defines you. The man who reacts is controlled. The man who responds with calm is in control. You just need to change anyone who insults you. You just need to make sure their words don't change you. Stay kind. Stay composed. Stay focused on your growth. Because the greatest revenge against disrespect is success they can't stop watching. When they see you rise without reacting, it will bother them more than any insult ever could. At the end of the day, people who insult always are people who are hurting always. They don't need your anger, they need your indifference. They don't need your explanation, they need your silence. Because your silence forces them to listen to themselves, and that's the one voice they've been running from their whole lives. So if you remember one thing, let it be this: a man who truly knows his worth can't be insulted, because he knows that another person's words can't touch the truth inside him. He's grounded in who he is, he's calm in chaos, and he never forgets that peace is his greatest power. You don't rise by arguing, you rise by understanding. You don't win by insulting back. You win by living better. You don't need to shout to prove strength. You just need to stand firm in silence. Because sometimes silence speaks the loudest truth. That no matter what they say, you're unshaken, you're steady, and you're enough. In the end, life will always test your calm. You will meet people who misunderstand you, who judge you, who insult you just to see if they can break you. And you will have every reason to react, but that's the moment when a man must choose who he wants to be. You can be the one who fights every word, or the one who rises above it. You can waste energy proving your worth, or you can save that energy to build your life. The truth is, people who insult you are teaching you something. They're teaching you patience, control, and clarity. They're reminding you that not everything deserves a response, and not every battle deserves your strength. A wise man knows that silence isn't weakness, it's protection. It protects your peace, your time, and your dignity. Because when you stay calm in front of insult, you send a message louder than any argument. I am not controlled by you. I am at peace with myself. And that kind of peace, brother, is rare. It's powerful. It's the kind that makes noise without speaking. One day you'll look back and realize that every insult you ignored, every fight you walked away from, every negative word you refused to carry, all of it made you stronger. It made you the man who doesn't need to shout to be heard. The man who doesn't need to win every argument to feel respected. The man who chooses peace, not because he's scared, but because he's wise enough to know it's not worth losing himself over someone else's chaos. So walk with quiet confidence. Let your calmness speak in a world that screams. Let your success echo louder than their insults. And when people try to pull you down, remember, they're only reaching up because you're already above them. Keep your focus, keep your peace, and keep your grace. Because the greatest power a man can ever have is not in how hard he hits back, but in how still he stands when the world tries to shake him. And in a world full of noise, be the man whose silence speaks peace.